bottom part, the top, behind the ear, and inside. Okay? You take these two fingers, the pointer fingers, you do from the inside, and then with your thumbs, behind. Again, with the two pointer fingers, do the inside of the ear, and then with the thumbs, the outside, like this. Okay? And you use the same water you use to wipe your head. Wipe your head, and then the same water, wipe your ears. The fifth or sixth sunnah is going between the fingers and the toes. Okay? Going between the fingers and the toes, like this. When you wash your hands, when you wash your toes, you go between. These are sunnahs. Meaning if you wash your hand like this, right? Or if you wash your feet without putting your hands or your fingers through your toes, then it's complete in the sense of your wudu is accepted, but it's lesser in terms of reward. The next sunnah is starting with your right. So when you wash, you start with your right hand. You wash your right arm. You wash your right foot. You start with the right. Okay? If someone doesn't start with the right, they start with the left, there's lesser reward, but their wudu is complete. And the final sunnah is the tathlith, doing it 3 times. Doing each part 3 times. You wash your hands 3 times. You wash your face 3 times here. Except what? The head and the ears. You do it once. Everything else you do it 3 times. That's also a sunnah, meaning if someone doesn't do it 3 times, their wudu is complete. They do it once. And it's narrated in authentic hadith that Prophet ﷺ tawadda mukhtasira. He did wudu in a shortened way. Meaning, and the scholars explain that he did it once. Each part, he did it 1 time. Okay? Those are the sunan. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, then next week, inshallah, we're talking about the sunan. Those are the faces of fun. Okay? But before I go into another topic, we'll quickly ask questions. Go ahead, Sam. Yeah, so if there's a medical condition, you can't put water in your nose, then you don't, follow what your doctor recommends, and inshallah you'll get the ajr. Either way, because now you have an excuse. There's a reason why, there's something preventing you from actually performing it. In such situation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a person the reward. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I didn't hear you.
You have a full wuzu, and you fall asleep. The wuzu is gone, right?
Yeah.
When you start wuzu, first do the istinja, then the hand, and the mouth.
No, the istinja, you only do it if you use the bathroom. You don't do istinja when you wake up, nor if you pass gas. Istinja is only when something comes out of one of the 2 ways. It's not even a sunnah. It's not. So it's not mustahab. In fact, if anything, it's makruh to do something the Sharia didn't tell you to do. The Sharia tells you to do istinja only when you use the bathroom. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And also, some people do on the sock like this.
Yeah, so the socks will come to later, inshallah. The socks, you just, with your 2 hands, you swipe on top. Very quickly. That's it, once. On the socks. Not after you do wudu. So let's say you made wudu, you prayed, you have your socks on, you lost wudu, you need to remake wudu. What do you can wipe on your socks. And that's something we'll come to later on, inshallah.
Yeah. If you decided that you're going to follow the sunnah, you have to follow all the things, or you can take part?
You can take, so the question is, if you want to do the sunnah, do you have to do all of the sunnah, or just part? Can you do parts? You can do parts. It's always recommended, obviously, the more you do, the more ajr, but you can do parts. There are other questions over here. Oh yeah, that's right. You remind me, the beard. Again, tahleel and dahiyah. Putting your hands or your fingers through your beard, getting water in there. Now, some beards, for example, mine over here, it's a little bit thinner. You can see the skin from behind it. If you can see the skin from behind the beard, then you have to get the water there, because now it's part of your face. If it's thicker, for example, for this part of my beard, all right, you can't see the skin behind. Now it's just a matter of kind of getting water there. It's a sunnah. Okay?
What does the Quran say about
But wudu, again, the Quran gives us the fara'id al-wudu, the obligatory acts of wudu. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, the 5th verse, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. So the Quran lists all the obligatory actions of wudu. The Sunnah came and gave us the Sunnah, the hadith of the Prophet. And we'll get to the fara'id, inshallah, next week, or whenever. Okay, so the question is the nail polish, or the nail polish. What is it called? Nail polish. I forgot. I'm sorry. I went 7 years and I came back. I lost half of my English words. So nail polish. Now nail polish. Let's just go. That'll be a little bit more general. Anything that covers a part of your body in which you need to wash for wudu. Nail polish. Let's just say there's some sort of I don't know, some sort of henna. Let's say, for example, that doesn't allow water to come in, right? It covers completely. Water can no longer find its way to the skin, okay? So, this prevents wudu, meaning if nail polish, if a lady has nail polish, or men these days, if they have nail polish, and it prevents water from reaching the nails, they have to remove it. They have to remove it. Now they're coming out with these nail polishes that allows water to enter. If that needs studies, if researchers say that yes, water goes through, then alhamdulillah, that solves a big problem, go for it. However, if there isn't, you need to take the nail polish off in order to perform wudu properly.
For nail polish, if you make wudu and then you put the nail polish, then it's just like masa.
No, it's not like masa. So the question was, if someone were to make wudu, then they put nail polish. Would it be like doing masah or wiping your socks? No, it's not. Because the socks, these are acts in which you need evidence from the Quran or the Sunnah to allow it. These are acts of worship. Therefore, we can't do qiyas. Does this make sense? We can't do analogies. Say, okay, because we can wipe on the socks, we can put nail polish or something else, some other form of covering, and then just wipe. That's not how it works. So when it comes to acts of worship, there is no analogy. You need evidence of the permissibility. Anything else?
Bandages.
Bandages, they should allow water to come in. Are you talking about regular bandages, not cast?
Cast.
So the cast, which we will get into next week inshallah more, but I'll give you a quick. The cast, now you have a reason preventing you from washing it. Therefore, whatever appears from the skin, you wash it. Whatever doesn't, then it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Sharia forgives you for it. You don't have to wipe on it, nor do you have to wash it. You don't have to get water in. Especially if it's going to cause damage. If it's going to cause damage, you're not allowed to let water in. Okay, and we'll get more into detail, inshallah, soon. Just real quickly, someone asked me about wasiyah, writing a will in Islam. What are some of the rules? Really quickly, because this comes way later on in fiqh. The will, there are two kinds. There's an obligatory will and there's a permissible will. The obligatory will is writing down something, rights, some sort of commodity or money you owe someone else that no one else knows about. Meaning there's no way for the person who you owe or the beneficiaries of the individual who passes away, there's no way to prove what's the situation. For example, someone loaned money from someone else. There is no contract between them. They're just words. Say, okay, here's a loan. Give it back to me after a year. They don't write a contract. There are no witnesses. Now, if this individual passes away, how are the inheritors going to know that this person owes, that our father owes that person money? So when that person comes and asks for his money, they're going to say, whoa, what are you talking about? It's going to cause a problem. It's going to become bigger, because now this has to do with money. Okay? So this is obligatory for someone to write it down. Likewise, if someone says, after I pass away, this land which I own, I want it to be endowment. I want it to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people will benefit from it. He didn't write a contract, there are no witnesses. Now he needs to put in his will that I declare this piece of land after my death as a endowment. Does this make sense? This is obligatory. The permissible is to say, for example, after I pass away, I want to give charity to this organization, this amount. Okay, this is something permissible, if not recommended, because charity is always something recommended. Now, when it comes to this form of a will, you are only allowed 1/3. You're allowed to give 1/3 in charity, and only to individuals or to organizations that who don't have right in your money. Meaning, a child, a son, has a portion of the inheritance, correct? He gets a portion of the deceased's inheritance. Therefore, the one who is deceased cannot write a will for that person, individual, because he's already inheriting. This makes sense? And the hadith is la wasiya li warithin. There is no will for someone who inherited and who inherits. Does this make sense? The wife, the parents, children. Okay, someone who doesn't inherit, for example, my good friend, he's always helped me in my life, I want to give him this amount. If it's under 1/3, then it goes through. Legally, it goes through. It's accepted. If it's above 1/3, we call the inheritors and say, look, your father, this individual, left a will which equals more than 1/3 of what he left behind. Do you accept this or do you reject it? If all of them accept, it goes through. If one rejects, then difference of opinion, it's fully rejected, the will, or he takes his right and the others, whatever the others accept, it's taken from theirs and given to the position. This is a very simplified explanation of the will, but I thought I'd give it to you because someone asked the question. And we'll stop right there for that. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.